Hey guys, it's Mr. Schiff. For homework, we're going to be going over the basics of fractions so that tomorrow, when we get into it, there are no confusions, there's no questions. I know for some people this might be review, for other people this might be brand new, but either way I think it's valuable to go over it. And please take notes, pause it, go back, watch it again if it didn't make sense, ask me questions tomorrow if it didn't make sense. We'll be doing a little bit of this year, and I hope it just kind of helps the people who need a little bit more time and also helps the people who are able to breeze through things a little bit faster. So first thing we're going to be talking about in terms of fractions is simplifying. So the rule is whenever you have like terms, we can cancel out. So this, for example, x plus 3 over x plus 3. That's the exact same numerator and denominator. So we can just cancel that out to 1, even though there's an addition sign in both of them. But if you look here at a plus b over a, we have an addition sign. We do have an a and an a here, but because it's added, we cannot cancel, we cannot simplify, and a plus b over a will be our most simplest term. Of course, with multiplication, the order doesn't matter. So x plus 5 over x plus 5 is going to be the same thing because it's multiplied by the binomial, or the two-term parentheses, x minus 6. So here, we do have addition and subtraction, but they're multiplied right here. So x plus 5 times x minus 6, it all cancels, we end up with 1. Here, both on the numerator and denominator, we have a 2 and an x. However, we have 2 times x on the top, 2 plus x, and this plus x is going to screw up any chances we have at simplifying. So our simplest term would be 2x over 2 plus x. In order to multiply and divide, first of all, it's a three-step process. I'm always going to tell you to make it easier before you make it more complicated. First thing we're going to do is simplify the numerator and denominator, when possible. Okay, so here we have 3/4 times 1/2. We could simplify vertically if they have a common factor, or we could simplify diagonally. What we could not do is simplify this 2 and this 4 because they're both on the denominator. Once we're completely simplified, we multiply numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. So this one, it's already worked out for you. 3 times 1 over 4 times 2, that's 3/8. Step 3, most crucial in my book, is you raise the roof, celebrate being done. So, again, to review, simplify, then multiply across, raise the roof, most importantly. So let's try this one together. You can pause it, try it on your own if you think you have an idea. If you're really confused, let's do it together. First of all, we could simplify either the 24 and the 32, they have a common factor, or the 4 and the 32. Order is not going to change your answer. I would say let's go big first. 24 and 32, their greatest common factor would of course be 8. 8 goes into 24 3 times, 8 goes into 32 4 times. So simplifying first of all, we get 3 over 4 as our new fraction. However, you might notice we could still simplify one more time. We have a 4 on the denominator, a 4 on the numerator, those become 1. So what we're left with, our final answer, is 3 over 7 is our fraction. Again, simplifying, then multiplying across, 3 times 1, 1 times 7, 3/7. Division works the exact same way with one little step that's different. What we do is when we divide fractions, our first step is we find the reciprocal of the second fraction. So we're going to flip, in other words, 4 over 5 to 5 over 4. Then we would do the same thing. What I would do first is simplify. Again, these are small numbers, it's not going to make too big of a difference, but 2 and 4 becomes 1 and 2, then multiply across. 5 times 1 is 5, 3 times 2 is 6, so you would get 5/6. If you did it the way this problem does, 2 times 5, 10/12, we could then divide by a common factor, which would be 2, you still get 5/6. If you got that, you, my friend, are a genius. Congratulations. Remember to be taking notes, be coming with any questions if you have them. So next up, adding and subtracting fractions. Let's go back here. So to add and subtract fractions, it's going to work a little bit different. So what we're going to do here is we need to get a common denominator. So we need to get a common denominator, and to do that we're going to multiply both of these by what we need. So our least common denominator, or our common fraction that 4 and 5 are both going to go into, is 20. So in order to get that, of course, we're going to multiply the 4 times 5 and the 5 times 4. Then we get a common denominator of 20. But in order to make that happen, we also need to multiply these numerators. So 3 times 5 is going to be 15. 1 times 4 is going to be 4. So here our fraction is 15 plus 4 is 19 over 20 is going to be our common answer. So for homework, the first thing I'd like you to do is write this one down, just a little bit of practice, figure out what the least common multiple between 3 and 4 is, multiply it times the numerator, get a common fraction. And then here's some other problems I'd like you to do. So just for clarification, this z to the 7th literally means 7 z's. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So z to the 7th means 7 z's over 5 z's. So what we could do is we could cancel out 5, find out how many we're left with. Of course, you could also just subtract the exponents. So the answer to this first one would be z to the 2nd. But along with the one on the last page, I'd like you to do these other remaining 3 problems. Keep in mind this one has a division. We have some variables where I want you to, again, do the same thing, cancel out where you can by subtracting, and then multiply as you will. So a simple one a little bit more complex, and one that has some coefficients and some exponents. And please do those 4 problems for homework for tomorrow. I will see you guys in class. Ciao amici.